Hello, everybody. Today I'm hosting Mr. Fadi Asli. He's one of the most famous and most successful immigrants to Georgia. This is the reason that I am hosting him. I am very happy to be with him now. We are going to learn from his experience living in Georgia for more than 20 years. He's now a Georgian, but he's also a Lebanese. So, welcome, Mr. Fadi.
Thank
Happy to have
you.
you here.
Thank you.
And we would like to learn from your experience here in Georgia about doing business. I know, and for you, my viewers, Mr. Fadi is the head of the International Chamber of Commerce in Georgia, and he's also doing many successful other businesses, many different projects about investing and business consulting all over the world. So, Mr. Fadi, happy to see you again. And now let's talk about Georgia. Why did you choose Georgia before 30 years, maybe, I think,
Yeah,
right?
24 years ago, we started our business here 24 years ago. We were involved in the trade of food products in the region. Our company's head offices were in Istanbul, Turkey. We expanded in the region from the 1990s. As a matter of fact, we started with Romania in 1990, then Moldova in 1992, Kazakhstan in 1993, Azerbaijan in 1993 as well, then Georgia in 1996, and Armenia and the rest of the region. So Georgia was a normal expansion of our Turkish market because Georgia is at the border with Turkey. Before 1996, we were selling to Georgians here. Then we decided to start our operation in 1996. And I came here personally in 1998 to solve some problems that we were having. And I decided to stay because it's a fantastic country, very beautiful. As a matter of fact, my first month was in this hotel at the Sheraton Meteche Palace. And when I woke up in the morning of the first day I arrived and I looked out from the window of my hotel room and I saw this beautiful hill and those beautiful houses, it was like love at first sight. It's a very attaching country.
Yeah, totally agree. It's a very beautiful country. No one comes here, and when you have to leave, you have to think twice.
Yeah.
This happens with everyone. So let's talk about what are the obstacles that you have faced here in Georgia during your journey, your long journey.
Well, I will divide this period into two periods, from 1996 to 2003 and 2004 and after. From 2004 and afterward, Georgia has changed totally. It is a totally different country. You cannot even compare it to what it was before 2004. But from 1996 to 2003, it was very challenging to be here. Criminality was very high. Corruption was rampant. Security was terrible. There was very seldomly electricity or water or gas. So it was pretty tough to do business in this part of the world. It was not only Georgia, the whole region was like this.
That was for the period before the revolution.
Yeah, this was before 2004. Mm-hmm. After 2004, the government put everything into place. They fought corruption. They jailed all the criminals, and those who were not jailed ran away from Georgia to other countries. And Georgia became one of the safest places in the world. As a matter of fact, today Georgia is among the 3 or 4 most secure countries of Europe. So corruption was almost eradicated after 2004. There was a lot of power, and not only there were no power cuts, but Georgia started exporting electricity as well. So that's why I divided the period into two. But in the first period, which is from 1996 to 2003, we had a lot of problems. I had someone kidnapped, I had our offices bombed, I had one of my employees murdered, other offices were burned in Poti. I was driving with 2 escort cars and 5 bodyguards permanently. This was the life. Was not alone. Every businessman had a bodyguard here in Georgia. And today, when you compare and you see how safe Georgia is, how prosperous it is, and you think how it was before, it's a miracle. This is when there is political will and good governance, countries move forward.
Yeah, true. Before the revolution, it was Georgia was healing from the Soviet era. You know, it was the last Soviet affection on Georgia. So, what has encouraged you to continue doing business in Georgia for this long time?
I'll tell you, it is a passion. It's passion. You know, I love this country. Yes, we had hard times in the old times, but it never scared me off. Or there is a charm in this country. People are very warm and generous. You always feel welcome. The country is beautiful. I mean, every day I walk downtown Tbilisi, and every day I walk, it's as if it's my first time walking. I'm in awe. Watching the beautiful architecture, the charm of the city. And if you drive out of the city, it's absolutely magnificent. So it is this charm, it is this human warmth, it is this hospitality that kept me here. I could have located myself anywhere else because at that time we were doing business in 11 countries. I could have chosen even to be in France or in the United States. But I love this country. It was love at first sight, as a matter of fact, and I still love it with the same passion.
Yeah, but for sure, as a businessman, also you make profits, like from your business.
Yeah, I mean, this is what a businessman is supposed to do.
Yeah, true. So, what has changed in Georgia since you moved here, since you came here? I mean, in the country, in the culture, in the people. Did the people change? And because we know that the economy has changed, the corruption rate has gone down. So what has changed else?
Look, the mentality has changed. I mean, the new generation, anyone who's under 30, has a Western mentality. Before that, you know, like the Soviet genes prevailed with the older mentality. When it came to bureaucracy or to the way of doing things, it was like very much within the system. Now this new generation, they're really Western oriented, Western thinking. You can, we have all our staff are young people. They're fantastic, as a matter of fact. So the mentality changed a lot. But what's also extraordinary is that the city and the country were not spoiled by modernism in the past 20, 25 years. This means the authorities were able to balance between allowing some modern constructions, but at the same time keeping the old spirit of this old Silk Road architecture. And this thing has turned Georgia into a fantastic destination for tourism, because, I mean, there are places where you travel into in Georgia, and you feel that you traveled back into time. You feel that you went back 500 years behind.
Yeah, you fall into history. Yeah.
And this, you don't find it elsewhere. And this is the charm of Georgia. This is the beauty. This is what's making Georgia so attractive.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so what do you think about the Georgian economy right now?
Well, you know, we always have our fights with the government, because we believe that many things need to be done better and faster. The Georgian economy has been increasing on an average of about 5% of GDP per year in local currency. And things are moving. Maybe they're not moving as fast as we want them to move. There are many challenges. In the past 4 or 5 years, we witnessed that bureaucracy is increasing a little, which we don't like as businesses, of course. We also, witnessed some corruption that didn't exist before. And this is very regrettable, and we hope it's just a hiccup and that the government will take the necessary action to stop it now after the October elections. We feel that more needs to be done for foreign investors. We believe that foreign investors haven't been treated the way they should have been treated in the past years. And this is always our talk with government, that if you want foreign investors, and Georgia needs foreign investment, then you need to really take care of foreign investors. You shouldn't stop them at the border, you shouldn't cancel their residencies, you should and treat them like five-star superstars. This is what you need to do. So I hope that after this corona crisis that, of course, affected the economy, the government would be keener to really take care of foreign investors.
Great. So now let's move to business. What do you think of the business environment in Georgia?
I mean, we covered it now. I think that, okay, there are two different things. There is what is on paper and there is what is on the ground. Now, on paper, Georgia is magnificent. I mean, Georgia is like a photo model, okay? You look at the statistics, at the figures, number 7 in the ease of doing business, very low corruption, all the indicators are in the green. So it looks on paper very attractive. Plus, you have free trade agreements with 2.5 billion people and with the EU. You have an association agreement with the EU. The legislation has been upgraded to be in conformity with the EU legislation. So on paper, Georgia looks very attractive. But on the ground, there are some hiccups and some hurdles that you don't see on the paper. Like you have bureaucracy that you don't see on the paper, but that you find on daily dealings with the authorities. It's easy to start a business, but sometimes it's not easy to pursue your business. And now more and more you need connections with the government to be able to operate headache-free, which is not normal. Because a business person should never interfere with the government or have any relation with the government. The government is there to facilitate the life of businesses, but not to solve the problems of businesses. The system should solve problems. Another huge impediment is the court system. The courts are subject to pressure. They're not independent, unfortunately. And that's why, as the chair of the International Chamber of Commerce, I always advise people who have problems not to go to the courts, either to solve them friendly or to insert in their contracts arbitration clauses to avoid using the courts. So, in short, there are a lot of opportunities, a lot of possibilities. But you need to be aware of the real hurdles, and that's why you need to speak to the people who know the reality. You shouldn't fall for the statistics or for someone who's bringing you here to get a commission from you. You really need to ask the independent experts just to make sure how to manage your business to have the least possible problems.
Then this is best advice for all investors and entrepreneurs who are willing to invest or to do business in Georgia. Well, now let's move to the future. What do you think about the future of Georgia? What's going to happen? Is the current regime stable? Something going to change? Are we going to witness any revolutions or any riots or anything like that?
No, I think that there is a lot of political stability in Georgia. The current government is very much very much within the lines of democracy and Western-oriented, and the previous one was also. And if there is any change in government, it will be always directed towards the West. Mm-hmm. So I'm very confident about the future of the country, and it can only get better.
Great. So this is great. Well, let's talk about the businessmen who are the head of the ruling party in Georgia. What do you think with 2 words? How can you describe Mr. Bidzina Ivanishvili?
Well, I think that Mr. Ivanishvili has lost an amazing opportunity to enter history from the very big door. I think that he made many errors of judgment. This is my personal opinion. I think that if Georgia would have been managed better than it was managed, today we would be at the level of the Baltic states as far as our economy is concerned. I personally think that Mr. Ivanishvili did a lot of mistakes. And he's very badly advised, and he's not seeing the whole picture. And he's trying to please everyone all the time. And when you want to please everyone all the time, you end up displeasing everyone all the time. So this is my personal opinion.
So, what do you think about the coronavirus in Georgia? What do you think of the government performance during this time, during this pandemic?
The government look, on paper, I mean, if you look from the epidemiological point of view alone, the government did a fantastic job. This means after like 5 years into the pandemics, we have 17 people who died from with the virus, not even from the virus, but with the virus. I mean, they're all 65 years, 70 years and older, and have other chronic illnesses. Mm-hmm. So I cannot consider that the virus killed them. So the government, from the epidemiological point of view, did a fantastic job. But there is more to a country than just controlling the virus. I mean, if you want to go theoretically and control it, but there are implications on the economy. And it's proven that, we're going to have like 350,000 people who have lost their jobs or will be losing their jobs because of the handling of the coronavirus in Georgia. Mm-hmm. And it's proven that 4% of people who lose their jobs die within 5 years of depression-related illnesses, alcoholism, drug abuse, mm-hmm. suicide, heart attacks, cancers. And so if we calculate, it's going to be about 15,000 people who will die within the coming 5 years out of those related, because of...
they lost their job.
So, I mean, it's good to... there should be a balance. I believe in the Swedish way of approaching. I mean, you need to advise people, but still at the same time, you need to keep your economy running. You need to give people their freedom. And today, if you look at the performance of Sweden, you see that it's true that the rate of death per million is maybe the 6th or the 7th highest in the world. But this is mainly due to the fact that they have very big nursing homes, and the virus hit directly in the nursing home from the very beginning. They were not ready for it. So more than 50% of the casualties were in the nursing homes. But if you look at the GDP of Sweden for the period going from April till June, you see that Sweden has the best performance in all of Europe. And today, the virus is under control. The deaths are almost inexistent, very, very low level of death. But they are equipped now to weather another wave of virus. Nothing will change for them. The virus can be there for, okay. So this was a wise way of doing it. All other countries did terrible mistakes, including Georgia. And today Georgia is trapped in its policy of confinement, and they don't know how to open. So we lost the whole touristic season. Many companies will go bankrupt. Many hotels will close. Many people are out of job. And what if we have another wave in November? Are we going to close again? So that's why I told you, from the epidemiological point of view, yes, they did a good job, but there is more to a country than epidemiology. I mean, they have to look at all the aspects.
Economy and tourism, and people job, people life, people normal life. Yeah, that's true to consider. Now, let's talk about, on the other hand, we talked about Mr. Bidzina Ivanishvili, so I want you to tell us about what do you think of Mr. Mikhail Saakashvili, the previous former president of Georgia. I know you witnessed his time here as a president. You witnessed the revolution. So I know when you talk about him, you talk from the close point of view, from the close view. So, I mean...
I'll tell you, Saakashvili put Georgia on the map. Georgia was a failed state. To give you an idea, in 2003, the American company Telasi AES Telasi, that was handling the distribution of electricity in Georgia, has cut off the power from Shevardnadze's offices because they didn't pay their electrical bill. I mean, the government was bankrupt. Saakashvili came to power in 2004. He fought corruption. He fought criminality. He opened up to the West. He reformed the education system. He built the country. Now, the problem with him is the last 3 years they turned into a dictatorship. And without Saakashvili, Georgia would have been today like it was in 2003 with the criminality, with all this.
Yeah, great. I'm very blessed to do this interview with you and
Thank
very
you.
happy to have you. And I'm sure all of our viewers are happy to have you and they are benefited from all of the information, your experience here in Georgia. And I'm looking forward to host you again if you would allow
With
me.
great pleasure. Thank you very much for inviting me. I was very happy to be on your program. I wish you a lot of success and you're doing a great job for Georgia.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay.